So for those asking, where's the scam? Well, that's where the water mixed with oil is coming out. We tried everything. Hammering it, heating it, nothing helped. The seal got overheated. That's what the replaced oil looks like. A perfect day to start repairing the Kawasaki Brute Force 650. Today's task, replacing the seals and the differentials because everything's leaking and the oil is dripping out. If you're interested, as always, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and of course, don't forget to support the Ukrainian Armed Forces. And yeah, it's time to do some retrending. We took off the wheel, and from here, it should be pretty easy. We got to the mounting area, and here's our poor little seal. We'll be pulling it out too, but first, let's close this off and clean the differential a bit. I'm standing here like this, not sure. Maybe it melted because it was spinning in the seat and got overheated, so it warped, which is why it was leaking. About the size, okay, when it says 5007. Dimensions: 25 millimeters inside, 57 millimeters outside, thickness 7 millimeters. It also says HS. No other markings. So now you know the exact seal you need for the rear right differential on a 2006 Kawasaki Brute Force 650. Time to order it and put it in. Our parts have arrived. Seals for both front and rear. From All Balls. Oil filter, Hiflo 204. Some nice 5100 oil. We need 3 liters, 2 for the engine, 600 milliliters each, and 400 milliliters for the front differential. And for bulk oil, we're using Mobil 424. It usually comes in 20-liter barrels, but if you ask nicely, they might sell you a liter. Let's go. We'll start slowly putting everything together and see what we get. The seal fit in just fine. Now we'll put the drive shaft back in place, and all should be good. Pretty straightforward. Put the spacers back, nothing complicated. Just make sure the arrow is pointing upward. Yeah, man, that's the main thing. Everything comes off easily. 2 bolts here, 6 over there. It pulls right out. No issues. Seal goes in. Fits nice and snug. So now let's put the wheel back on and move to the front differentials. If you're at the stage where you need to do this, I don't think I need to tell you how to remove the wheel, but I will tell you how to remove the caliper. We've got 2 10mm bolts, one on top, one at the bottom. Unscrew those first, remove the caliper, then pull the pin, remove the disc, and I'll show you what's next. Ilyuka is unscrewing the master cylinder over there. They installed it like this and then hooked up the brake line crooked. Here's our issue. This is where the seal is leaking, that's why we're going in. To replace everything properly. Also, if you ride in grassy areas, this spot loves to collect grass, which will slow down your quad. So keep that in mind. After riding through fields or tall grass, check this area. Meanwhile, Ilyuka got access, so now I'll show you how to remove the bone joint. Don't hit it directly. Better to use something in between. Ilyuka, hold it from the bottom. When it pops out, the whole assembly will come loose. If it doesn't move, what do? Tap it a bit more. If that doesn't help, we heat it up. As usual, nothing works better than heating and giving it a solid whack. We got that sorted. Now, in theory, it should all come out easily, but not in our case. Or maybe it will. Let's find out. Let's try pulling it out. In theory, it should be easy, but that's not guaranteed. It needs to come out from here. Got it. Now we'll pull the rest out. And here's the culprit. Now it all needs a good cleaning, but be careful. There's a bearing in there that'll need to be greased later. The oil, and I can already tell this thing went through water because it's super watery. It's dripping down. Give me a tray so we don't drip oil all over the board. That's the water and oil mixture leaking out. It gets in there. There's a bearing at the back. After cleaning, it'll need to be greased so it doesn't run dry until the oil gets to it. But only grease it with oil. If you use something like grease or thicker lubricant, you'll mess it up. It'll attract dirt, sand, mud, and the bearing's lifespan will be way shorter than you'd want. Now let's get that seal out. That's always a bit of a hassle. Seal is in, nice and snug. Everything's good there. If you didn't catch how I hammered it in, I used a half round from a piston set. It fits almost perfectly. Next, we'll drain the oil, but there's no drain plug here. It's under the skid plate, so we'll need to remove the plate too. Maybe we'll drill a hole there later. For now, everything is clean. The bearing spins freely. We greased it up so we can reassemble the drive. Cleaned off all the sand and gunk, and now we're putting it all back together. We tried everything. Hammering, heating, that pin just won't come out. I messaged the owner and shared my thoughts. Because if we knock it out, there's no way it's going back in. It'll be its last journey and we'll need to disassemble and press it out. A whole mess. Looking at it closer, I don't think the oil is leaking that badly from the seal. Not like the other side. So should we replace it or not? Still not sure. It's damp, but not dripping. So I'll wait for the owner to decide. If we're pulling it, then we'll deal with the consequences. While we wait, we'll finish up and change the oil in the rear differential. Seems like a normal cap, but nope. Someone cut into it with an angle grinder here. For who knows what reason. And over here, check this out. They welded on this weird homemade drain plug. Handcrafted. That's the kind of stuff you see when doing repairs. Wild things. If you've never seen anything like this, drop a like and we're moving on to pouring oil. We drained the oil. Can't tell how much came out. Nothing critical, no metal shavings, but it's black as night. Pure darkness. If you don't believe me, I'll show you. Blacker than midnight. Here's the drain plug. You pour it out here and fill it here. Manual says 600 grams for the rear differential. We're using Mobil 424. Let's pour it in. Oil is in. See, why it's just reaching the edge. If you don't have a measuring cup, just pour until it overflows from the hole. But since we used a measuring cup, everything's perfect, level, and as it should be. Now we screw it back in, and onto the engine oil. Since we're not doing anything more with the differential today, the owner still hasn't replied. Let's move on and change the engine oil. Drain bolt is here. It's a 22 millimeters. Let's go unscrew it and drain the oil. But before that, I want to show you what it looks like. I've already seen it, but let me show you. First, the level is way too low. Second, check out this beautiful midnight black color. I'll wipe it and measure the level. Nothing. Just nothing. Even with the cap screwed in. And it's supposed to be measured without screwing it in. But just for the fun of it, let's see. What annoys me is, when it was sold, the seller told the buyer that all the fluids were changed. Yeah, right. You can clearly see there's no level. Just none. And that's what replaced oil looks like. I said right away this thing's a mess, and we haven't even gotten to the oil filter, and I'll show you the condition of that oil filter. I don't understand how someone can change the oil without replacing the oil filter. So check it yourself, and don't take anyone's word for it. Even better, bring someone knowledgeable to help you buy proper, reliable equipment. And now, let's go drain the oil. So, according to the reseller, this is what a replaced oil filter and oil look like. Well, I showed it to the owner. He already knows it's complete nonsense. So now we're unscrewing everything and continuing with the replacement. The oil has already drained and black as it should be, business as usual. So let's go. I don't have a filter wrench right now. We'll have to get creative to unscrew it. A bit of a barbaric but effective method. Stab it with a screwdriver and twist it off. Generally, an oil filter should be hand tightened and removed the same way. It's still dripping now, and then we'll put everything back. That process has its nuances. Controversial or not, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, I'll go prep for installing the new filter. Here we've got a brand new 204 filter. What do? Like this. There's a thin film here, but I wipe it off with a clean napkin and dab some of the oil we'll be pouring in. And we're using Motul oil. So we wipe the surface, pour a little oil inside so the filter isn't completely dry, and then use a finger to coat the rubber seal with oil. Let it soak a bit. You tighten it by hand. No need to crank it, just as tight as your hand allows. The key is that your hand isn't oily, so put on a glove. A rubber glove helps grip and tighten it properly. That's what we'll do. We've cleaned the mounting surface. Everything's dry. Here, where the rubber seal makes contact, we wipe it clean so there's no sand or debris. Then, boom, we screw on the filter. Tighten it by hand, and that's it. No need to go overboard. And don't forget to screw in the drain bolt underneath. Now let's go pour in the oil. Now for a quick level check. Insert the dipstick, don't screw it in. Almost full. The oil looks like a tear, clean and clear. We'll now run the engine a bit to circulate the oil through the system and into the filter. Then we'll recheck the level. Now we're warming up our demon. Let it warm up, let the oil thin out, and that's done. We're waiting to hear back from the owner about what to do with the front differential. So we poured in the oil, warmed it up, and got a bit surprised. Outside the garage, you can't hear it as much, but inside, you can. So, it starts up fine, everything's good, but if you go around to one side, it's quiet. The timing chain is running great. But over here, later, there's a clicking sound. I already pulled out the tensioner, double-checked the valves. For those wondering, the gaps are correct, but the tensioner is fully extended, unfortunately. So, our next step, under the valve cover. We'll inspect the condition of the timing system. So, for those asking, where's the scam? Here it is. Piece by piece. Black oil, water in the differential, leaking seals. Here, the kickstand is rusted through. The gear selector, totally worn out. The front differential, I'm not even sure how to technically replace the belt and clear the error properly without it dropping into limp mode. Oh, and they sold it as a 750, but it's actually a 650. The exhaust needs replacing. It's been welded, cleaned, cut, and torched like 150 times. It's all black. So yeah, also needs replacing. And when you look at the whole picture, the numbers just don't add up. For that kind of money, you could have bought something in much better shape. But it is what it is. We've already called the owner. We'll be replacing the timing system, but that'll be in the next episode. So if you found this interesting, as always, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and of course, toss a nice donation to the Ukrainian Armed Forces, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.